This afternoon, hundreds gathered in North Phoenix to honor the life of Austin Peck, a Goodyear firefighter who died of occupational cancer.
Peck actually passed away last Saturday. He was an engineer with Goodyear Fire, and Team 12's Colleen Sikora is live outside the Dubliner Irish Pub where the memorial for Peck was held earlier this afternoon. Colleen?
It's for Austin.
Yeah, guys, this was not your typical line of duty death memorial, but those who knew Austin Peck well say this is exactly what he would have wanted, a party celebrating the life he lived. Several Valley area fire departments did join in a procession to the memorial with a flag folded and given to Peck's family. Peck joined the Goodyear Fire Department back in 2008. He was diagnosed with occupational cancer in 2015. His family, friends, and colleagues say he fought the disease courageously and with the same intent as he tackled any fire in his career.
He fought it with everything he had. Not recklessly, but with the heart of a warrior.
You can tell by the laughter that Austin loved to laugh and have fun, and that's who Austin is.
Peck has been described as funny, loyal, and a family man. He leaves behind his wife and high school sweetheart, Erin, and their 2 daughters. We'll have a full look at Peck's life and his memorial tonight on 12 News at 10. We're live in Phoenix. Colleen Sikora, 12 News.